Is it possible to beat Dark Souls 3 only using daggers? I'm sure that you already know that it is, but you're not here to just get that question answered, right? Before the run begins, I would like to explain a few things. Of course, this type of video is heavily inspired by channels like The Backlogs or Press Continue. They're goated. And they inspired me to do the same, because, I don't know, it's fun I guess. I'm completely new to this kind of editing, scripting stuff. But hey, let's see how it goes. I know that this isn't the hardest challenge of all time, but I don't want to stress my patience level too much in the first video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Enjoy the pokey pokey. First, let me explain the rules so that we are on the same page here. We can only inflict damage using the dagger type. That's why we are not allowed to use any consumables that deal damage. Only the ones that buff us can be used, like ambers, pine resins, and spells like Power Within, but I will only use them when I think it's necessary. Additional rules, of course, we are not allowed to summon, because I quite frankly have an ego, and we will be defeating every single boss in the game. And I will be showing the entire fight of my favorite bosses in the game, just because I like them a lot. And I hope that I won't forget to put timestamps in the video, so that if you don't want to watch them, you can just skip them. Our starting class will be the Thief class. It is the only class that starts with a dagger. Our burial gift will be the Life Ring. For this run I see no use in the other ones. Fittingly we will name our boy. Design its elegance, and the run may begin. On the way to our Big Daddy Gundyr, we will pick up a few souls with the intent to painfully devour them, and the Ectus Fluctus, because healing is kinda nice. Reaching Gundyr, he didn't put that much of a fight. It is no wonder that he dies so fast, because he's the first boss in the game and has like no HP. And of course no one survives the spamming R1. In Firelink Shrine we ignore the Firekeeper and link the Shrine bonfire with the sword we got from Gundyr's belly. Next we will teleport to the High Wall of Lothric and link the second bonfire. Back at Firelink we will allocate a few points to stamina and HP. Strength and dex exist, but they're unimportant since our descaling in both stats. Thus they will be our last priority. On the way to Vordt, I forgot the existence of an Estus Shard and ran blindly into his arena with 2 healing. It was close, but he dies first try, and we negotiate with the woman so that she will lend us her flag. Sadly, the dancer wasn't quite fond of me killing old people, and she decided to avenge her. The damage of an unenhanced dagger isn't quite existent, but soon we'll return and completely dodge. Anyways, at the undead settlement we will pick up Lurta's bone, for research purposes only of course, murder a lizard, almost die due to questionable hitboxes, and while being chased by rats we unlock a shortcut. In realization of my idiotic behavior, that I was about to run past an important item, again I went back to pick it up and fell to my death. Like the pro gamer that I am. On the way to the Path of Sacrifice, I introduce Siegward to my 2 new friends and leave them alone. I am very convinced that they will get along. They're gone. They must be drinking again. I knew it! You killed Siegward! You ate him! Die! At the swamp we'll pick up the best shield in the game to get a regeneration buff while wearing it on the back. Of course we won't use it for blocking or parrying, we just leave it on our back. Back again at the Path of Sacrifice, we'll pick up the twin daggers. My line of thought was simple, 2 daggers are better than 1. I may be wrong here, but throughout my experimentation I noticed that the bandit's knife is just way better. It attacks faster and has natural bleed buildup, so in case we will deal no damage to the boss, it can save our ass. To get more healing I decided to do the tree skip in Firelink Shrine, first try of course. We'll grab the Estus Shard and the Silver Serpent Ring to gain more souls by killing enemies. To upgrade our toothpick I decided to go to Bootleg Blighttown to pick up a few Titanite shards and to kick some Abyss Watcher ass. The Abyss Watchers were pretty straightforward. Since daggers deal more backstab damage, the tactic in the first phase was to just abuse it. The second phase was the same, just backstab and abuse the dagger. Try 5 was quite close. 7th it is. With our +2 bandit's knife I decided to kill the Crystal Sage, who just died. Yep. First try, hitless. I knew that the dagger was a valid weapon, but that it would be so strong actually quite shocks me. I don't know if I can call this a challenge run anymore, but moving on. With the Crystal Sage dead, we head to the cathedral where the Deacons await. I don't trust giants, I know what you did. On the way to the Deacons, we'll pick up Lloyd's Sword Ring to buff our damage while being on max HP. The Deacons were quite easy. In phase 1 just spam the backstab of Doom, and in phase 2, again. They died after 10 tries. I only died so many times because the other Deacons would sometimes completely surround the boss Deacon, making it impossible to attack him with my toothpick. But with the Deacons dead, we unlock the passage to Irithyll. First we need to get to Irithyll, and for that we have to pass every Souls player's favorite area. To pass it, we'll use the holy technique of running past everything. Wolnir is I think the only boss in the game that no matter which challenge you do, he never changes. Hit glowing ring, you dies. Thus we opened the way to Irithyll. But to get to Irithyll we first have to get past Suleyvahn's beast. It is embarrassing to admit, but this little bastard killed me more than any other boss in the game. Giga! Verkackt doch jetzt nicht gegen den. But before we slay Suleyvahn, I would like to greet the old Demon King. To do just that, we will collapse the bridge, die to the demon miniboss, collect Titanite shards to upgrade our weapon, and we'll let the environment kill Snake Solaire to get a sublime bone dust. Also, we'll pick up the Shield of Warrant. If we equip it in our offhand, we'll gain more additional souls from enemies. This seems quite practical, but in reality I always forget that the shield exists, but it is a nice to have. With our +5 dagger we can approach the old man. And again another boss just dies. But did you know that if the Demon King is on the verge of dying, he collapses due to exhaustion? Impressed by our damage, I decided to kill the dancer early, to snag a few Titanite chunks in Lothric Castle and Oceiros' garden. She died in 4 attempts. Sagen, verlustlich jetzt schon. Scheiße. Ja. Giga!
Achso. Oh, ich wurde nicht getroffen. Warum choke ich jetzt so? Alter. Ja, gut. War jetzt nicht allzu schwer.
We grab some Titanite chunks, and with the leftovers of the Dancer we'll buy Lord's Shield Ring, boosting our defense when max HP. With this setup we are ready to face Pontiff Suleyvahn. The damage is impressive and he dies in the second try.
Ist... ja... cool.
Now there's nothing in the way to the other Lords of Cinder, God-Eater Aldrich and Yhorm the Giant. I wonder where he got that name from. The plan was to delay fighting Yhorm because I had some concerns. Aldrich dies in the first try. First try. First.
So.
Das habe ich persönlich genommen. We can still delay Yhorm and go to Oceiros. He was quite simple to fight, but I don't like his lightning speed dash attack. I just can't react to it and it always hits me. After Oceiros we can face my personal favorite. Champion Big Daddy. Big ass, big spear, big cock. Good looking, masculine, manly. And a spear. Just look at it. If Gundyr demands that I take my pants off, I also take my underwear off. If he demands that I suck...
Ja.
Anyways, the last boss we can do before Yhorm is the Dragonslayer Armor. And in this fight I had some problems. Until now I defeated every other boss in under 7 attempts. But the Dragonslayer Armor was different. Our low damage output and his Omega Lightning Bonk damage make the fight quite hard. Overall it took me 30 minutes to beat him and I was on my last Estus.
Bla bla bla, so, ne, hör auf damit, ich bin Rotitan. Und dann hat er im Englischen gesagt, you tiny. Dann hat er halt im Englischen gesagt, you tiny old man. Und hinter ihm stand...
Now it's Yhorm time. Yeah, Yhorm is a bit of a problem. Normally you're supposed to kill Yhorm using Storm Ruler, a weapon designed to specifically kill giants. But due to obvious reasons, we can't use that one. We have to live with our damage. And that's not all, Yhorm is immune against bleed. The one time where bleed would come in handy. It's not even an option. But luckily, Yhorm's moveset is quite simple. And we deal double damage by attacking his hand. And thus hours and hours pass where I would just slam my head against Yhorm, or rather my toothpick. Every attempt took over 12 minutes and I needed a break. And on the next day, I set my mind. I said to myself that I will only be eating if Yhorm is eating shit. And eating shit is what he did. He died in the first attempt of that fateful day. With sweaty hands and sweaty butt cheeks, Yhorm finally fell.
Oh Gott. Krass. Ja.
With Yhorm dead, we can finally move to the archives. Oh, and before we do that, I forgot that we have to kill the curse-watered Greywood. This is definitely the boss ever made. Reaching the archives, we ran past everything, past curses and past magic bitches, and reached the triple Gank.
Ah, geil. Viel Spaß hatte ich noch nie. Wieder nicht. Den roll ich halt nicht, sorry. Kleinen Wichser. Oh, ja, komm. Greif an. Was willst du jetzt? Ey. Fick dich einfach. Arschlecken.
Run past everything, said Dumbledore calmly, and we reach Lorian and Lothric. Definitely one of my favorite fights. But it never took me more than 3 attempts to beat them in a run. We'll see how it goes. I will just let the full clip of the first try play. I never thought that bosses can die so quickly. Never.
Das macht sehr gut. Die Mucke ist so geil. Warum trifft er mich nicht? Ist er dumm? Na, 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 na.
Will mich heilen? Dankeschön. Ah. So, jetzt spielen wir. Ich dachte, du hast diesen. Ja, ich dachte noch das. Oh. Sehr schön. Oh, ich liebe diesen Kampf. Aber have a try. As you can see, I'm deleting his HP bar. And then there comes bleed damage. This is just totally insane for me, but anyways. With all Lords of Cinder defeated, we can finally face the final boss of the game. I know I repeat myself, but just look at him. Und nein. Macht das schwer. Das ist unfair. Ja, Spaß. X. 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 Fuck. Oh. I'm sorry. Even Gwyn can't face my poking abilities. And with his death, the game is finally over. The game is over, yes, but the challenge isn't. We only got 3 big things to do. Nameless King, the Ring City, and Ariander. I don't count the Ancient Wyvern as a boss, he's literally a one-hit. Nameless King took a bit longer, but even the long-lost son of Gwyn can't keep up with my poking abilities. GG! Don't believe me that he belongs to Gwyn? Explain this. Of course, in Ariandel, we ran past the sick population and ignore them completely. Just kidding, we're murdering them. Then we get poked by Sir Wilhelm, but psych, we penetrate harder, and thus we have penetrated our key. Why do I write this? I was expecting that Friede would take a while, but no, she fell in 3 tries, probably more luck than skill. Oh my god! I exactly remember how it was to fight Friede for the first time. I literally thought that she was unbeatable, that no, you can't. But after like 4 or 5 hours, I kept pulling through and eventually I won. And now I'm here beating her in 3 tries. Dark Souls is one of those rare games where you get the feeling that your win is not determined by stats only, that you have to grow as a player to overcome it. And me, for example, beating Friede in 3 tries, when previously it took me like 300 tries, is proof of that. Maybe I just need friends. Probably. But hey, we're here to fucking game. I know that Champion's Gravetender exists, but he can lick my ass. In the drag heap, you can guess we ran past everything. And we tried to dodge those massive cum shots by the perverted angel. The demon princess must be my favorite double fight in Souls games. Most of the time they don't attack at the same time, and I just love the rhythm. When one prince attacks, the other one stays in the back and fires a huge fire poison beam, which is easy to dodge. After about half an hour we poke him down and gain access to the ringed city. On the way to Halflight we brutally poke down Midir's eye and shove him down a cliff at the same time. If he isn't dead by now, we will finish him later. And Halflight is a fucking son of a bitch. I already hate magic spamming bastards, but mixing magic spamming bastards with another NPC is just the definition of a shit boss. And that's not all, there's always an unskippable cutscene before you fight the boss. Always. And as you can see, my damage is not high enough that I can R1 spam this motherfucker. Wouldn't it be funny if the Painting Guardian can heal the boss? What's good about Halflight is that other players can take his place. I even tried defeating players, but I'm just at a huge disadvantage. Because of course I'm doing a challenge run, but also because a fucking Painting Guardian always jizzes on me and heals the other player. But what's left if I can't even defeat a player? Empathy. If I strip completely naked, only equip my dagger, then maybe this will erect empathy and maybe the player will just let me kill him? Well, it's worth a shot, and it didn't work at the first time until I met the greatest Giga chat, mein Führer. He was a man who let me defeat the Painting Guardian on a 1v1 basis. He didn't interfere, unlike another player. And as the Painting Guardian died, we celebrated together, and without speaking a single word, he just turns around and lets me stab him. Such wisdom, such elegance, indescribable. Back at the Painted World, we annihilate the Gravetender and brutally maul his pet dog. No mercy to double bosses. The next 2 bosses, Midir and Gael, are probably my favorite bosses in Souls history. Let's start with Midir. Midir's moveset is quite simple, but he's an absolute tank. Midir has 16,000 HP and thus ranks 2nd place in having the largest health bar. Only Yhorm has more, 11,000 points more. But as long as you target his head, his fire attacks miss you and his attacks can be easily dodged. Midir is just a challenge of persistence and Yhorm was a harder one. And thus Midir falls. Lights up. Now to Gael. This reminds me of something. Many people see Gael as the best and hardest boss in Dark Souls 3. And I definitely agree. Gael has only 1000 HP less than Midir and has 3 phases in one enormous HP bar. Gael is chunky. Gael makes bonk. We are not chunky and we do not bonk. but something happened during that battle. It just made sense.
Woo!
Das war intense. And Gael got poked. And yeah, that's the video. Thanks to everyone who, by any miracle, managed to watch till this far. If you do want to see me do more, like actual hard challenges, then leave a like, or sub, or write a comment. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, bye bye.